Hello and welcome to MythCast number 4. I'm your host, Clan Mythology's vocal terrorist, Jesse Voctor Rain, here for Voctor Gaming. So, today's replay, of course, focuses on the wonderful Red Protoss here, Mythology's Viper. And he will be up against the Blue Zerg SmOker. Now, for those of you who don't know, you should totally be visiting clan-myth.com, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, just down about here, because they're an awesome clan, and they of course have signed me. And so I'm doing this series of MythCast, where irregularly players from Mythology will be sending me their replays, and I'll be casting them up on the channel. It gives them a good reference point, it gets their replays casted, and gives them something to show to other people. And also, it's just very, very nice, and it allows me to practice my casting and my observing abilities for the weekly episodes of Myth TV that I also host over at twitch.tv/MythOdin. So, right now, Viper going for the usual PvZ strat of the Forge Fast Expand. This is on Acheron Wastes, which is a fantastic map. I'm a really big fan of it, especially since they moved these Xel'Naga watchtowers, stuck them over here instead. So now you have a lot less vision of what's coming down the centre. Will we get a block on here? Well, we've got a patrol instead, which is just as good. And I think that, yep, that's in a good place. That's not going to be chased away so easily. Eventually it will have to go. The question is whether or not it will drop a pylon. I don't see it doing that, because of course he is going full tilt. Oh, he will do it. Naughty boy. I like that. I like the pylon block. It's annoying. It doesn't cost a lot. You throw away 25 minerals. It's not really going to delay anything much from here, which is one of the many, many good things about it. And still rallying this probe around. Any starters, guys, I do apologise for. In roughly 2 weeks' time, I will have a brand new PC that will not have any problems whatsoever with running the game. It just happens to me even while I'm playing the game. It's something I deal with even at the lowest of graphical settings. So unfortunate, but I'm sure it won't last once I get this new beast of a PC that, yes, I have spent £1,300 on. So a small force of Zerglings moving out now. They will catch this probe. Well, actually they won't if it doesn't deviate at all from its path. And the cannon should be finishing up in time to stop this from doing any damage. It's going to have to be careful though. Gets that block down nice and early and gets the probe in the way. That's what needed to happen. Throws down a second gateway just to block that off. Cannon finishes, they have to leave, and this gateway will be cancelled. So Cybernetics Core can go down, and the Nexus here is finished. First two gases coming up right now for Viper, leaving his options completely open. Meanwhile, SmOker, his Zerg opponent, is going for the double hatch expand. So completely standard early game PvZ. The real question is, of course, where both players go after this. There's a lot to be done for both of these. Right now, just the one gas coming out for SmOker, so it's not going to be anything particularly tech heavy. It's going to be full on macro for a while yet. Really wants to pump those drones out. And once again, apologies for my computer trying to explode itself as best it can. Now, we're going to have a pylon off to the side. It's going to allow Viper to hide his tech just a little bit better. Of course, won't hide anything from an overlord that's coming in from the left hand side, but will hide everything nicely from that overlord if it tries to come in down here. I would imagine Stargate follow up from this. Stargates are very popular among Protoss right now, and I have seen Viper use that to his advantage in the past. Warp Gate is on the way. These Zerglings are finally being harassed back by the lovely skin Zealot. I've just unlocked this skin myself, making me one of the happiest people currently alive on the planet. We've got a Mothership Core coming out as well, and as we can see, it's being rallied across the map. Do I actually have to follow that to see it? Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. Well, the Mothership Core will be moving out now, and with the one Zealot, one Stalker, and the Mothership Core, he could put on some pressure here. There is a Queen coming out here, but guess what? Zealot, Stalker, Mothership Core actually kills a Queen. So these drones are going to have to run away until this second Queen can get over there to help out, but now it's also got to be careful. But with 2 queens up here, this zealot's going to have to run away before it does get cornered and killed. And he will be fine. There should not be enough to take and kill this third base before the Lings get in and deal the damage. But it is forcing a round of Lings. And more importantly, it's forcing the Zerg player to pay attention to this, to micro this, to pull the queens away from its possible injects. Right now, only a time warp ready for this Mothership Core, not worth using. This Stalker can get away before speed finishes, and it's still got a little while to go. But yes, as suspected, it was a Stargate from Viper, actually placed here instead of over here. The 3 extra gates going down here, so wow, this is a fairly heavily aggressive follow-up. Going straight into 4 gates and a Stargate. This is going to allow him to pressure the third while simultaneously perhaps throwing oracles into the main base or the expansion. We have an evolution chamber going down, but that's it. We've no spores coming out. We already have the oracle being chrono boosted out. We've got +1 ground weapons also being chrono boosted. Meanwhile, it looks like Viper wants to set up to take a third base behind this aggression. We have to be careful here. Here come the first speedlings, and the sentry is not there, ready to defend. He is looking at these rocks, which is going to, of course, give SmOker some idea of what was going on. Finally, the speedlings are stopped from coming in, but really, SmOker should have done more with that, being able to get in there as he was. So, first Oracle is out, was not seen by the speedlings. The speedlings should have been able to run all the way up here and see the Stargate. Boom! Second Stargate. We've got a Void Ray coming out. These gateways are done, and a Twilight Council also on the way. So perhaps Stalker-based Blink armies, potentially Zealots with charge, but I'm imagining it's probably going to be Stalkers with Blink. And now, first Oracle is here. Unfortunately for him, right at the exact time that the Spore Crawler is made, and we have spores everywhere. Oh yes, we do. My apologies, he did actually see that Stargate, which will be exactly why that was made. And we even have spores going up here to defend this Queen. This Queen will actually kill this. Oh no, it's going to be 1 or 2 shots too short actually. I thought without the shield it became a lot more even, but not quite. Still, the Viper is set up well for the future. He's set up well to take his third base. And he does have Void Rays coming out now. This is finally blocked against any more Speedling run-ins. So unfortunate that occurred really. Because without seeing that Stargate, maybe the spores aren't ready. And the Oracle does more, and look at this. We've got ourselves a fleet beacon at the back of the main base. Twilight Council's done, but it's all about that fleet beacon. So we could potentially see Tempest or Carriers. I imagine we'll be seeing some mixture of both. A lot of players like to start with Tempest and then move into Carriers. Me, I friggin' love Carriers. If you can get 3 bases, if you can get a massive Carriers out, no one on this earth is going to stop you. So we've got the hallucinated Phoenix coming in now. We see 2 Tempests start to be made in that production overlay. But what will this Phoenix see? Because of course we know what's coming. We know it's Hydras with Roach backing. He sees the Hydra list then. He sees obviously those 2 gas. Will he catch anything down here as well? Oh my word. He sees the Roach Warren making. Okay, so he has a very good idea of what's coming out and starts to make shields level 1, interestingly enough, rather than moving into anything else. So I'm trying to imagine why that is, because all of the units either have equal shield or better shield, or better armor than their shield. So an interesting choice there to go for shields rather than ground armor. Potentially a misclick, but I mean, he made the Twilight Council and everything, so have to wait and see how well that pays off. Third Stargate is up, and now we are at the mid-game point officially with 3 Stargates out. Ah, this is why the shield upgrade. We've got a Templar Archives coming out. This is going to be Archon. Archon Sky Toss. Wow. And that's going to do great wonders against this Hydra force. The Archon's really going to be able to A, tank up the damage, and B, deal a lot of it to these massed out groups of Hydras. With not enough roaches to defend, SmOker could be in some trouble here. Speedlings will not do him well at all. But now his 4th is being up, so he wants to put some pressure on at this front. I'd suggest perhaps coming in through this wall, but with the Mothership Collar it's going to be very difficult either way to put any real pressure onto this Protos's either 2nd or 3rd base. I think Viper's set up particularly well here. Templar Archives is done, and here we go. Zealot doing the damage, holding that line. Great force fields there, holding those Hydras back. Very few being able to do the damage. Needs to be careful with this Void Ray. Doesn't want to lose it out there, but the Tempest should be able to start dealing a great deal of damage. The question is, how much does he want to reveal? If he can hold this off without them, that would be wise to do. But no, here come the Tempest. He realizes it's a huge mass of Hydras, so he needs to get in there and really stop them from doing the damage. But those force fields are excellent. Held them off for a very, very long time, and now the Tempest and Cannons are doing their job. This army is being whittled down incredibly quickly. Another pylon now going down to help begin to block off that front again. The Roach is here to tank, but there's no Hydras left to deal damage. The Roach are going to come here to start breaking down this wall, but all of them will die to these mass Tempests. With in fact no anti-air there at all, but one Hydra being rallied. Not the best of ideas. So a really good hold there by Mythology's Viper. I like to see that from him. So Shields level 1 is done now. The question is, will we see any Archons made from this Templar archives? I'm imagining we will, but he's really going to need to get that gas going. We do have the third base gas now working, but ideally you actually want to go up to 4 bases as a Protoss here, just for that gas. It starts to play a bit like a Zerg in terms of needing so much gas for late game. The problem is, when you go full Sky Toss like this off 3 gates, you invest so much gas, it's unreal in the mid game, and you don't build up a nice bank for later in the game. So here we see the attempted 4th base. Now this is the place that SmOker needs to hit. If it saved up that force of Hydras, no way would Viper have been able to move out and hold this. Unfortunately for him, he threw away a lot of that, and is now in the process of remaking it. 38 Hydras, a lot of his supplies still in drones though at 83, and BAM! See you later, Overlord. Oh my god, he's sending so many Overlords in to try and scout this. But they've got nothing in them, they're not carrying, so no need to worry about that. And with no army underneath it, they will all finally get demolished. So, it is up to SmOker now to really start doing some damage. We've got air weapons level 2 being kind of boosted out. We do have Storm also on the way. High Templars, of course, another really good unit to deal with mass Speedling and Hydra. So here comes a concerted attack now on the 3rd base. Viper actually coming around the back, and that's an interesting way to do it because you can trap the Zerg player in there. But right now he can get some good kills in here. We don't have Storms ready, and oh my god, he's moved commanding his High Templars into range there. Loses 2 High Templar. In fact, did he lose 3? Oh my word. That's really bad. But this is a lot of Tempest, and they will deal the damage here. But he's going to have a hard time getting into a good position because SmOker wants to go for Viper's 4th. He knows how important it is to take down the gas here. We've got Zealots coming in now to do some damage, and without Roaches actually, all these Hydras are going to start to disappear very, very quickly, and they're not being remade. They're not getting across fast enough to reinforce, so now they're having to move into a better position. Now, these Hydras will be able to come in here. We've got 2 cannons. We'll start to deal some damage. What are we at? We're at 2 attack, 1 defense, so we might actually lose 2 or 3 of these. Depends how well that cannon targets. Okay, not manually targeted. But that force is dealt with over here, and now Viper will be able to respond over here. We're going to start to see some worker kills happen. We've got 6 so far, but a lot more Hydras going down. I mean, look at the difference in units killed in total. 137 right now. And these High Templar are starting to get some Storms available. Good cannon wall there. All the Hydras taken down. Massive Speeding's going to run in here, but a good Photon Cannon there means I don't think that Nexus will fall. No, oh, it runs out, so he is going to have to get over there and do something. Yeah, the Zealots will warp in just in time. But of course we have another run-by intended. Whether or not this works as well as expected, will it take that Nexus down? No. Nope. Can't even try to be excited about that. No way. Still too many hit points there. And this 4 cannon now really doing some damage to these Hydras, holding them off while the Tempest army gets over there. And of course, once these cannons finish, well, there'll be no more Zerg Speedling run-bys in that direction. So it's going to have to be Hydras again, and Hydras are not the fastest moving unit in this game, despite the potential speed upgrade that they can be given. I've got to assume that has been done, and is done from the Hydralisk then. Yeah, I can't remember. Wow, that's a lot of Speedlings, and so many of them are going to die right here. Great use of the gateways there and pylons, but we could see this Nexus fall, finally. It's so difficult though. Oh, it does go down. The Nexus does fall, but we have a decent bank now for Viper. He is going to start to be fine. He needs to throw down some more pylons just to get his supply count up a bit. Of course, losing that Nexus did hurt his supply. Just see, we do have 72 probes though, so that's perfectly fine. No damage there. He just needs to get on supply blocked. So we can get more and more Tempests out, but it looks like this is the big move out. Almost entirely air. We've got a few Zealots to help out and a few High Templar to throw down Storms. But a huge now attack by SmOker into the third of Viper. And if he's not careful, he could do so much damage up in the production here. So SmOker going to have to, well, do a lot of damage here. Viper needs to engage correctly. Great size Storms. No Roaches to tank here at all. No High Templar going down. And the Zealots right now holding the Hydras away from the Tempest. One more good Storm, and yep, goodbye Hydras. No more for you. It throws down the last Storm, not potentially needed, but still a lot of damage done. And SmOker's supply is falling. He's getting good upgrades out, I'll give him that. He's keeping those going compared to just the single forge with the shield upgrades. Yeah, we've no more forges. So he will start to fall behind. Obviously with the Cyber Core, he does have 3-3. And, well, that explains why the shield upgrades, not focusing at all on the ground army, wanting to develop fully into this sky army. And obviously it's 0 armor though for the sky. Needs to be very, very careful here. But these High Templar are going to absolutely smash these Hydras aside. There is nothing, I have to keep saying this, nothing to tank for these Hydras. Zerg, you cannot go into a solely Hydra army and wow, all these Overlords are going. And then it's going to be impossible for Zerg to hold this off because he won't be able to make any more units. That is nearly all of his Overlords there. And with Archons morphing as well to start tanking, wow, this is virtually a foregone conclusion. SmOker with the GG. Mythology's Viper victorious. Very well played by Viper. That's honestly, guys, sit back and watch this this video again, or if you want, contact either Odin once he gets back from Korea or Viper directly in game. See if you can get the replay, because this is how you go full on Sky Toss against Zerg. It's all about these gate timings. It's about getting those shield upgrades out, about getting the good attack upgrades out, and then just holding this fourth base, because oh my god, is this gas so important, especially once this base starts to mine out. Anyway guys, that's it for this replay, and I'll be back with more MythCast in the near future. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to check us out at www.clan-myth.com and watch our weekly Twitch show at twitch.tv/MythOdin, and that's called Myth TV. Have a good night, guys.